They're off to race over a mile, 1600 metres. Alf Layla, black cap, a little sluggish, leaving the stalls. There's a general migration towards the near side running rail, with Manada, who was drawn closest to it, getting there and leading a trio hard under the fence, tracked by Albar in a blue jacket and Alf Layla, the black cap, slightly centre of near side. Mighty Ulyesses, yellow cap, Frankie Dettori right on terms at the end of 2 furlongs. Dawn of Liberation on the right and a pale jacket, followed by Berkshire Shadow, the blue and white. Then the Acropolis, Ryan Moore in the dark blue silks, accompanied by King Max in the violet, as the two groups effectively converge, moving down towards halfway. Manada on the left, striped cap with a narrow advantage. Mighty Ulyesses leading the cluster on the right, but still under heavy restraint from Frankie. Dawn of Liberation tracking in with Berkshire Shadow, the Acropolis. King Max, violet jacket, waiting in the wings. Alf Layla, one off the fence, black cap getting a bit closer. Albar hard under the rail, the all blue held together as they run down now towards the last couple of furlongs. Beginning to cluster around Frankie. Mighty Ulyesses tackled on the right by Berkshire Shadow. Manada drifting across to join them. Then the Acropolis. Albar has got plenty of daylight down the running rail, picking up as they race down into the dip. Berkshire Shadow has nosed ahead from Mighty Ulyesses. Then Manada, the Acropolis, Alf Layla, King Max in a violet jacket from Albar. Mighty Ulyesses back alongside Berkshire Shadow, nosing on again. Dettori up the drive. Mighty Ulyesses. It's Dettori and the Gosdens. Mighty Ulyesses in the Sir Henry Cecil. From up for second, running on quite stoutly late on. Alf Layla chased home by Berkshire Shadow.
It was a little bit of a sweat, but ultimately he won quite nicely, Mighty Ulyesses, justifying his tag, the 11-10 favourite, beating Alf Layla 12-1, and Berkshire Shadow, who'd been a length behind at Ascot, was 2 lengths behind today. Slight wobble, 2-1 out. He hung to his left in behind the eventual third, but ultimately he surged clear to win and cement the reunion between the Gosdens and Frankie Dettori. Mighty Ulyesses found a way to win. Frankie is back.
Mighty Ulyesses has won the Sir Henry Cecil Stakes for John Gosden and Frankie Dettori. Is it good to have the band back together?
Of course, yes. It's no one likes interruptions, no one likes stuff in the public domain, but there wasn't a lot of choice.
Why do you say that?
No need to go on about it. It's becoming a very boring story. Anyhow, but it's good. Back together, we're happy. The plan was to take a lead. He wound up in front, and he's run very well, and couldn't be more delighted.
What did you think after the St James's Palace Stakes?
I thought he ran a blinder. He was in another starting gate. If you look at it, there's a starting gate, and then there was a gap, and he's in a starting gate on his own. So, he was wide, and, he made a lovely run, but probably coming from so wide of the field, he just petered out the last 40, 50 yards. Lucky he come to win it, but couldn't be more happy, and we'll stay at this trip. We found out at Epsom he's not a 1.25 mile horse.
Would the Celebration Mile be on your mind?
No, if we do anything, it would go to Goodwood, and there's this 3-year-old Group 3, and look at that. It's in the festival meeting. That would be a logical place to go with him. Stay with the 3-year-olds.
And how is Inspiral ahead of tomorrow in the Farmers' Day?
She's fine. I mean, you always worry about coming from Royal Ascot to the July meeting, whether they gave such a performance there that it flattens. And that you can have some of them run flat here, but she seems in great form. She's only had 1 run this year.
One question, I know you don't want me to dwell on it, but you said you don't like to do these things in the public. Do you worry about kind of what the public think about stuff like this?
None of it's pleasant, but it's just you have to deal with it, that's all.
Frankie Dettori has won on board Mighty Ulyesses. Many, many congratulations. Talk us through that race.
Well, he's a horse that likes to lead and he likes to run at horses. And I'm looking at the paper this morning, I thought, well, the only obvious one is Jim Crowley. And when he went to the fence and he tried to expose me to daylight, that's what he did. And I was running a bit keen and I had to basically do my own thing. And I knew it was going to be a sprint finish. For a minute, Jason Watson headed me and I thought, God, the race didn't work out, but in fairness, he knuckled down and he won.
How high do you think this horse can fly? Do you think he's a Group 2 a bit higher than that?
Yeah, listen, he's work in progress. He's never had a proper run at it. Obviously, we overpitched him maybe in the St James's Palace, but he didn't disgrace himself. Again today, bit of flat spot, and then he got going. So I don't know his full potential, but he's been interested also for next year.
Now, you know, obviously, and everybody else knows here, that this is a very significant ride after the inverted commas sabbatical that you and John Gosden had. What did you feel coming here today?
Well, maybe John was right. I needed a sabbatical. What did I feel? You know, I'll be the first one to say I probably had the worst star score in my 35-year career. I know I'm 51, Johnny's 71. We sat down, we had a chat. You know, we're not kids anymore, so we sorted things out. And yeah, listen, now it's just going forward. You know, what is past is past, and I'm glad we had the winner first day.
I'm going to ask you one question about the past before looking forward. You've been described as distracted, you know, doing boxes before Royal Ascot and the top hat and tails, going on holiday to Italy before and after the meeting. Do you recognise that description?
Well, listen, me and John had a discussion at closed doors. When all we talked between me and him is between him. And, you know, we had to iron a few things out. And like I said, that's past, and let's go forward.
When you walked out of that meeting, did you think that this rapprochement was likely to happen?
Well, maybe the first one, no, but we had another go at it. Like I said, it would have been a shame to finish it like this. I know John 30 years. You know, I forever grateful for what he did to me as a friend, as a career. So, you know, I didn't want to hold grudges, so he did. And you know, it's about going forward. Like I said, we're not kids anymore. You know, we can sit around the table and talk things over, and I'm glad everything's sorted out.
Do you remain friends now?
Of course. Otherwise, we won't be riding for him, right? He's even gave me his rose.
I saw that, which I thought was a lovely gesture. It's great to have you back. Many congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope I answered all the questions.
Did you feel any pressure